Correct.
certain
Yeah.
areas. So yes, I was like, uh, I look at that now and then compare, and I was like, that's why it's so important to do exactly what you said that you were doing.
Yeah, otherwise, when you're looking at that 2D and top, like if you know how to read topography, you can see that. But me, I'm a visual learner, and I'm not the best at reading topography lines. So
Hmm.
I can look at that mountaintop, and then I can drop down in and see where those benches and saddles are. So it was very helpful. And then you can switch on that aspect ratio, and it'll I believe it's red is really really steep, yellow is like mid, and I think blue or purple is a lower area. So playing around with that I think it's aspect ratio was very helpful in figuring out what was steep, and it helped us navigate. Really, if you don't know how to navigate a mountain, you can be doing 2 to 3 times more work than you have to. So we use that as well to build a route. And Onyx has actually a really awesome tool. I wish I had it up to kind of explain it, but you can actually build your route like off of a trailhead. You can, drop a pin to where you want to go, and it will build your route, and kind of you can kind of play it down and play around in 3D mode and kind of rotate and figure out what's the best way to navigate this mountain to where I'm not going up, down, and up, down. So you can kind of navigate your way through that. So Onyx was like our Bible for out when we were out there, especially not having boots on the ground. And I'm from North Carolina, he's from Chicago. We would do literally we would get up our computers and we would FaceTime, we'd share pins, and we'd be like, all right, yeah, that's the money. This is where we're gonna camp. This is where the elk should be. So we had play by plays every area that we were going to hunt in, depending on what happened. We knew where we were going to camp. We knew where we were going to possibly see elk, and so we pretty much were, e-scouting, and it actually panned out, and we had some great success in, seeing elk and then getting within bow range.
Yeah. And the other thing is about that navigation tool. I didn't use it the last time I went elk hunting, but I'm looking at the topo lines in 3D mode. And I think what happens a lot, especially when you're trying to navigate, that tool is so awesome because what happened to me a lot, especially on the days where I would go out by myself, I would follow the terrain to a certain point when I should have been slowly gaining ground.
Hmm.
Then I would hit
Yeah.
an obstacle and then I would have to go straight up,
Yep.
right? Or go straight down to go around something and then have to go straight back up. So instead of like taking more of an angle and side hilling up, I was staying at the same level
Hmm.
for the easiest walk and then getting to a point where eventually I would have to go straight up. And that's where it became extremely brutal over all of the deadfall and things like that. So yeah. Okay. So you were looking for spot A, backup spot B, backup spot C, backup, and just kind of going through there whenever you had the time. And I know that this is fast forwarding a lot, but did you, with all the time you spent on Onyx or whatever uh, other places, maybe you did your scouting, digital scouting, do you feel that really helped you? Did it pay off? Did it help? Like, did it result in your success?
Yeah, 100%. Like my first hunt, I felt like I was in the weeds. I was following my friend.
Hmm.
So I really didn't like because that's the way I got lost because I really wasn't in tune. I didn't have Onyx at the time. Again, I downloaded it after I shot the bull. So I was really kind of following him and not paying attention on a map. But when you are physically in it and you're looking at Onyx and you're in 3D mode, you really can see what's happening and where to navigate. So without Onyx, I'm going to be honest, I think Onyx really, really gave us a leg up, especially when we're, non-residents and not used to that area. I definitely attribute a lot of the success in figuring out where elk are and getting to elk with using Onyx.
Yeah. Okay.
And of
All
course,
right.
water, and of course, water like Onyx. If you're not using Onyx, obviously we're we're always solely relying on this handheld device